everyone, welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, where our panel of three Hallmark movie enthusiasts and Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers will rate, rank, and debate all things Hallmark movies related. Today, they'll be working with and against one another to create the definitive list of the 10 best Hallmark movies starring fan favorite, Tyler Hynes. I'm Lynn, your host, and with me is Erinbeth, my co-host. Erinbeth, I think it's safe to say that Tyler is well-loved in the double-decker community. Wouldn't you say?
I think most double-deckers have a place in their heart. They're Heinies, for sure. I mean, we love him. He's great.
Yeah. And I see you're drinking something. This is probably one of the 4 Tyler-themed drinks that Erin, who's the Deck the Hallmark podcast producer extraordinaire, and she moonlights as our official mixologist for our show. Which one are you having?
Mine is It Was Always a Movie Draft. It's a non-alcoholic one, ginger ale and raspberries. Got to keep my wits about me until after trivia. But if anyone else is interested in finding them, the recipes are on the Hallmark Movie Drafts Instagram, and there's 4 of them. They're all great.
Yeah, I actually had the mistletoe secret one the other night. It's the bourbon with the pickle juice. I know it sounds crazy, but it was really good. I liked it a lot. So, okay, great. So, and since it's Tyler, we may be doing like a boot shot at the end. It seems like this show is all about booze, but I promise you, it's really not. It's really about the Thai guy. So let's jump right into introducing our 3 guest panelists. Over the last several weeks, they've been putting together their own personal top 10 list of Tyler's Hallmark movies, ranking them 10th to their favorite. And tonight they're just going to battle it out against one another to see which ones will end up on the ultimate list of 10. So first up is Tracy. Tracy, your TikTok Fab math teacher is so much fun. You do these short, snappy videos, you do movie reviews, you do legit educator content as well. And you've met Tyler, several times. Your photos with him are amazing. Do you have any Tyler stories you want to share?
Oh, I think my favorite one was at this past Christmas con. There are a lot of Tyler stories in the past Christmas con, just from making my Christmas card pictures. But I stood in line for a little while just to do the meet and greet part. And he came in, gave me a hug, and then he kind of leaned in my ear and he went, "Oh, you smell really good." And I just, that's it. I'm done. I'm such a happy, like, melt city, just melting. So yeah. And I've also convinced some of my students that he is my boyfriend. Without, they don't know who he is, and they just see his picture on my desk with me and they're like, "Sperry, is that your boyfriend?" I'm like, sure. Yeah,
sure. Why not? Well, you are actually coming into this match with an extra veto left over from the Christopher Palaha draft that we did in January. So depending on which drafting position you end up with, you could really have a lot of influence in this game and what ends up on the list and where. So watch out, everybody. I know. And Tracy has her spreadsheet. She's already held it up to the camera. So next up is Jen. Jen, yay for New England double deckers. I can't believe we only live like an hour and a half away from each other and still have not met in person. We talk a lot, but we just haven't met in person. But I'll see you at Bramblefest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so cool. So you too are a teacher. You are like super busy all the time. You were at New Jersey Christmas Con, right? Yeah. So did you talk to Tyler there, or?
I did not, but I talked to his mom.
Oh, what's she like?
She was so nice. Like they had come over to the Deck the Hallmark booth, and like she grabbed, I think, like a dumpster fire shirt or something. They were like the I hate like Hallmark movies one. And then we chatted for a while. She was telling me like about the relationship with Andrew's wife, and like how the cousins always used to hang out, and his wife used to come to like all Tyler's like sets when they were younger and stuff like that. So she was literally the nicest woman. So it was nice.
Sounds like they're really close too.
Yeah.
Which I think is so beautiful when you can do that. And last but certainly not least, our third drafter is none other than Tyler Hynes' bestie, his brother from another mother, the former unofficial Noom spokesmodel, the host of the Deck the Hallmark podcast and many other shows in the Bramble Jam Podcast Network, Brandon Gray.
Hi. It's great to be here. It's good to not be hosting today.
Yes, and what are you drinking? What are you drinking?
This is well, I was gonna make a chocolate martini based off of what we had here in the office. It just ended up being chocolate liqueur straight up. So yeah, that's where we are right now. But the night is young.
The night is young. So this is your first time drafting?
It is my first time drafting. Long time listener, first time caller.
Long time listener, first time caller. That's right. Ever since September when we were born.
That's exactly right.
So did Brian or Dan give you any tips? And if they did, are you even going to listen to them?
Well, I want to go on the record here in saying that Brian was unjustly, I don't know, crucified for how he handled the picks, and I just want to put that on the record. But no, I'm not taking any advice from him. But Dan and I, we talked. I ran the list by Dan, and as you can imagine, he disagreed. But we agreed on the top half, which I think is the half that ultimately will matter. So I'm feeling good going into this, and I'm not out here trying to make enemies tonight. I'm trying to make the right list, the perfect list. Okay. I'm not going to try to goof off. I'm not trying to goof off here. Okay. This is serious business. This is a top 10 list for one of our generation's top talents. So let's take this seriously, everybody. Let's not try to veto. Let's not make any enemies tonight. Let's just make a good list. We
are all about love. We are not about violence.
That's exactly right.
And Bran actually has the list of movies as of this morning, so he's good to go, right?
And okay, yes. Did I ask for the list of movies today? Yes.
Yes.
But
yes.
I had been thinking about asking for the list for days, so could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Okay, so let's shift into gameplay mode. So just a quick note to our listeners: if this is your first time listening to the podcast, you might want to pause here and listen to the Hallmark Movie Drafts intro show first. That's where we go into more in-depth explanations about vetoes, the ranking, the purpose of the game, just the whole gameplay. These guys that are playing tonight, they know what they're doing. Yes, you do. They know what they're doing, so we're not really going to go into any of that. So the eligibility for this draft was super straightforward. Tyler's only made 14 movies as of our recording date for Hallmark. He does have a 15th one coming out that premieres on March 25th called A Picture of Her with Rhiannon Fish. But that's still about 2 weeks away from now, and we've not seen it, so it's not eligible. There are 3 drafting positions, A, B, and C. These positions have a certain number of chances to offer up a movie title in a specific place on the list, 10th to 1st. And in addition to your picks, each position gets at least 1 veto card that you can play in the game if you dislike an opponent's movie choice. You don't feel it belongs on the list at all, or you think that it needs to be further up on the list. If you have a veto, you can veto it. It removes the title from that position, but it doesn't take the title out of the game. Anyone can play it again, including yourself. So these are the 3 positions. Drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3. And Drafter C gets 1 veto card and 1 veto override card. Drafter B picks 9, 6, 4, and 2. Drafter B only gets 1 veto card because you get 4 picks. Everybody else is just getting 3. So you have more opportunities to get your stuff onto the final list in a perfect world. And Drafter A picks 8, 5, and 1. Drafter A gets 1 veto card and 1 bonus veto. So this position gets 2 vetoes, and they also get the number 1 movie choice. And remember, Tracy is coming into this match with a leftover veto from the Christopher Palaha game. So
I'm doing what?
Tracy. Wrong Tracy.
Call me when you're doing Frankie Muniz. Oh my God, can you imagine?
Could you?
Unfortunately,
we should
yes.
do one.
Unfortunately, yes, I can't imagine.
That would be hilarious to have Trace draft a Frankie Muniz like show fest. Yeah, sure, why not?
He had a great episode of Veronica Mars. What else?
What else did he do?
I'm
Malcolm
sure
in the
he
Middle.
was in
Malcolm
a
in the Middle.
teenage movie.
He has been in a Disney Channel original movie. I know
Yes.
that for a
I
fact.
think he has been.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he has to be in a Hallmark movie at some point, right? I know he's racing, but
Right.
Oh my God, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. All right, so how do we decide who gets to be drafter A, B, or C? We do that, we could do a coin toss. We could actually do boot shots, but instead we're going to torture you with some trivia. And that's where Erinbeth will come in. Trivia to test your knowledge about Tyler Hynes. So the first person to answer one trivia question correctly gets to pick which drafter they want to be. And then the next person to answer one question correctly gets to pick theirs. And the person who just sat on their hands, didn't say anything, turned into Brian Harold, you get whatever's left over. So that's it. All right. Any questions before we get started?
No pressure.
No pressure. Let's do it. Go ahead, Erinbeth.
wait, how
Alright.
do we just shout out an answer?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She's going to give you the rules.
Freaking mayhem in here. Okay.
The first rule is wait till I finish reading the rules.
Okay.
Just kidding. All right. So with trivia, we have 4 rules. Number 1, you cannot answer until I have finished asking the question.
Oh,
No
interesting.
jumping
Okay.
in before I finish speaking.
It's ugly. It gets
Rule
real
number
ugly.
2, as soon as I've finished asking the question, just shout out your answer. Whoever is first gets the question. If there is a tie, Lynn and I will be the tiebreakers. I will tell you if your answer is right or wrong. If you're wrong, you cannot guess again until the 2 other drafters have made a guess. If those drafters request a clue, then anyone can answer after I gave the clue, even if you were the last one to give a wrong answer. Any questions before we start?
I think Jen's out for blood. I think
I'm
Jen's here
just
for
trying to figure out
violence
if
and chaos.
Tracy. I'm just trying to figure out if Tracy also studied this and has a spreadsheet. Do you have a spreadsheet
I
with
will-
trivia?
Bran's just going to
That's
text
why I take
Tyler
all
to
the
know
notes.
the answers, probably.
Spreadsheet just makes me anxious.
First question. On the 12th date of Christmas, Aiden and Jennifer are planning a scavenger hunt based on the song 12 Days of Christmas. What is the first suggestion Jennifer makes to represent the 5th day of Christmas?
First,
They go and make bread.
No.
I know what it ended up being, but I don't know what the first suggestion.
I literally just watched this one the other day.
Jen, I know. You were staring at the ceiling for help. That's not going to help you.
No, I know.
Would you guys like a clue?
Sure.
Okay.
If you give a clue,
after
can I
give the
be
clue,
back
Bran,
in
you
it?
can answer again.
Yes.
It is a round food item.
Donuts?
Both of us.
Bagels.
No,
Oh,
it's
wait.
not.
Pizza.
No.
Yeah. I heard
Okay.
Jen. I heard Jen first. Who did you hear?
Did Jen answer it correctly? I only heard Bran.
Oh, Jen and Trace both said,
Tracy and I said the same thing, but we said
said
it.
donuts.
They said donuts, which is not correct.
Yeah.
That is not correct. Okay, so I'm going to go to a new question. The correct answer was onion rings.
Oh, golden rings. Okay.
Golden rings.
Onion rings.
All right.
Okay. What is the first Hallmark movie premiere that Tyler appears without a beard?
It's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
No.
Falling for you.
Oh, you can't answer again,
No.
Jen. It'd be
Falling
Bran.
for you.
Bran got it right.
I don't follow rules. Sorry, Bran. I mean, there you go, Bran.
No,
So
you
wait,
know,
so
I
Bran-
will say, I was gonna say it was always you, and then you guys did that. My next one was gonna be falling anyway, but you made me feel really good about it.
Falling, even though he filmed it's Christmas Eve first, falling for
That
you.
one aired first.
Aired first.
Aired
Yeah.
first.
First.
Yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
why I added the word premiere in there to try to.
Oh,
Okay. tricky.
So,
Bran
yeah.
just fell into winning that one. So Bran,
Yeah, he did.
while
Really,
we
really
figure out
did.
who's going to be next, you can think about which
How many-
drafting position you want.
How many times am I going to help Bran today? I gave him the movies this morning. Now I gave him the answer. Anything else you need, Bran?
I mean, can I go get some candy while I'm waiting on you guys to figure this
well,
out,
depends on
or
how long it takes us to answer Aaron?
Go get some candy, Bran. It's fine.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. For my 2 Tyler Hynes mega fans, I'm going to go a more personal route. When interviewed on the Hallmark Happenings podcast, Tyler says that his parents named him after Chevy Chase's character in this movie. Would you like
There's nothing like dead air on a podcast.
I know.
Sorry.
Would you like a clue?
I think we all
give
want to
it
drink
to
at this
you. The
point.
first one
Help,
of you to
but-
shout it out gets it. It involves golf.
Oh, Caddyshack.
I heard Tracy first. What did you think, Lynn?
I don't know.
Okay. We will go for
Tracy.
another question. Was Caddyshack? So,
What is Caddyshack?
all right.
If you heard Tracy first, that's fine.
I don't.
That's
I'm
good.
fine
Tracy's
with
good?
it.
That's fine.
Tracy said
Okay.
Caddyshack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
So did
both said
Jen.
it. Yeah.
They both said it. It was really close.
Yeah.
Jen is just going to enable everyone else to win this game. That's all
It's-
there is
It
to it.
is. It is. Okay.
Because she's an
Or
awesome
I'm like a
teacher. That's
sleep-
what she does.
I'm
To
a
ensure
sleeper
their
and you don't
success.
know.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will call it for Tracy.
Yep.
But-
thank you.
And I
Okay,
will call
so
it for Tracy and Caddyshack, which I had to hand to you, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much on a platter. Thank you very much.
Yes.
so Bran,
Yes.
what drafting position would you like?
I have control issues. And so for that reason, I would like to have the most picks. So I'm going to go with position number or letter B.
Interesting choice.
Thank you.
Okay. Bran will be B. And Bran, since you won technically trivia, you're also first in the veto order. So
Yes.
when somebody else picks a movie, you have to like chime in first.
Yes.
But I'll be reminded.
And I
of that
have
all.
one veto, correct?
So you get one veto because you have
Perfect.
more picks. You have more
Perfect.
picks.
Perfect.
Tracy, with your extra veto, which position, what drafter do you want to be?
Call me a veto hoarder, drafter A.
Did you say horse? What?
Yeah.
Drafter A. Wow. Okay. So that means that Tracy will get picks 8, 5, and 1. And she will have a total of 3 vetoes. She gets the normal veto that everybody gets, the bonus veto, and then the one that she put in her pocket and took with her from the Christopher Palaha draft. So Jen, wow, they showed you no mercy. You are drafter C. So you get to pick, you get to kick the list off with
Is
pick
it
number 10.
Is it bad that I'm more nervous about having to go first than I would have if any of the other one?
No, because number 10 can set the tone for the rest of the list. You're talking to somebody whose number 10 pick got vetoed in the fake relationships draft. It was brutal. So you get 10, 7, and 3, and you get 1 veto, and you get the super special veto override. So
Which means I can
you can
override
cancel out
somebody. I
else's.
can disagree with somebody's veto.
Yep.
Got it.
So you get some strong positions in there. Okay, so just a couple of more things before we get started. When you make your pick, please just DM your movie title to me in the chat, and I'll just read a quick blurb about the movie, when it was done, who's in it, that kind of stuff. And then you can state your case as to why you chose it for that position and all that good stuff. And then Erinbeth and I actually have a little host side hustle going on. So we too have created our own top 10 list of Tyler movies. We're competing against one another just to see how many of the movies that are on our list end up on your definitive list for bragging rights, I guess, just so we can stay involved. So whenever you are ready, Jen, go ahead and DM me your movie title.
Sometimes picking that number 10 can be hard. So you're not the only one.
Seriously, I'm like this. Like, I have less of an issue with the top than I do with the bottom. The bottom I changed like 8 times already,
Yeah,
literally.
I think that's fair.
Right?
It's
Like,
hard.
Oh, I've had one movie jump up like 4 or 5 spots after rewatching, and then
Yeah.
Wow.
down, and I'm like, oh man, that's
I
good.
did too, Tracy.
Oh,
I had one go up really high after rewatching it.
I did too. I had it low,
Yeah.
and oh wait,
I need to get serious now, and the cat's on me. Like, come on. Like, it's time. I gotta type. The cat wouldn't let me move.
It's so funny. It's hard. You know, we've done drafts where there have been like 25 movies on a list. You have to get it down to 10. So you're peeling away at a lot. It can be really competitive. But even having to eliminate 4 can be really hard because people feel passionately about certain titles, or most especially where in that top 10 list it's to be ranked. So
All right. I'm going.
all right, go ahead. Just
I
DM
think-
me in the chat.
I think.
You got it.
Terrified. That's hilarious. It's just a game.
All right. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
I also had to make sure I wasn't sending it to everybody because, like, it's set to everyone on the chat. So it was like, wait, you got to change this.
Okay, so I have Jen's pick for number 10. This movie is from 2019. It co-stars Christopher Russell and Kelly Pickler. It's The Mistletoe Secret. Mistletoe diner owner Aria Eubank, played by Kelly Pickler, convinces a famous travel writer to do a feature story on her beloved hometown. However, when the travel guru and his ghostwriter both show up, Aria finds her heart torn between Sterling Masters, which is Chris Russell, great name, and Alex Bartlett, who's Tyler. So, Jen, why Mistletoe Secret at number 10?
So this is one of those ones that went back and forth, like on my list, off my list, on my list, off my list. I think technically right now it's off, but I'm going with on. Because despite Kelly Pickler, I really like the movie, and I just wish like it was somebody else in the movie. So I love Tyler in it. I think him and Patrick Duffy are really great together. Chris Russell like is obnoxious, but also like I like their relationship. If Kelly Pickler wasn't in it, I feel like for me it would be a much higher movie. But Kelly Pickler like brings it down, which is why, like I said, it went back and forth off my list. I really like struggled with this one. And like I said in the chat, I watched Unexpected and then Mistletoe Secret, which I do not recommend to anybody. Because
Don't do it.
just from the female lead perspective, I don't recommend it. But yeah, I just like, I like it. I think it's just a fun movie. It's Kelly Pickler, like just ugh.
But you know what? The Mistletoe Secret drink with the pickle juice and the bourbon is really killer. So maybe
You should have seen Tracy's face when you were describing it earlier.
But I don't like
Oh.
pickles, so
if you like, do you like pickles? No,
Oh,
like a
that's
dirty martini? No.
Oh, pickles.
Oh man, it's good. It's good. All right, Bran, you are first up in the veto order. What do you think of Mistletoe Secret at number 10?
Yeah, I don't like that. I thought that I was gonna skate into this, and that all I was really gonna care about was the top end, but I don't like this. Here are my concerns, knowing that I have one veto. So to be transparent, I do have this on my list. I just don't like this placement. My concern is I know how let's say polarizing Kelly Pickler is. My concern is if I use my veto right now, it will end up not even being on the list, because I don't know how passionate I am about it at the end of the day. So that's where I'm at. Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough because Tracy has 3 vetoes, so you're right to be concerned.
I know. Does she have a veto override?
No,
I
Jen
do.
does. Jen
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen, you can't use the veto override on your own to save
No,
your
I
own
know.
pick.
All right,
need
here's
that
what
from
I'm
the
gonna
rules.
do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm
What are
gonna
you
do.
gonna do?
I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna choose to be happy that it's on the list, and I'm also going to pray that Tracy vetoes it.
Wow, Tracy, he's coming for you. He wants you to get rid of one veto.
think
What
that
are you
I
gonna
watched
do?
a movie and it moved way up on my list.
Was it this one?
This was the one.
Yeah!
It wasn't even on my list. I rewatched it today, like in pieces, because I was teaching today, but like
Probably the
before-
best way to watch Kelly.
Yeah, you know,
Pickler.
while the kids are doing something else, I just put earphones in, you know, like lunch with the boys. Anyway, no. But I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, Kelly Pickler can I, but you know what? I still found her quite charming in it. I still liked her in it. Yes, I'm gonna say it, and I will stand by it.
I will stand with
by it.
you.
And I will say that there's parts of it that oh, the night custodian's coming to clean now. Hi. Sorry. But I will also say that there's one, like there's so many parts that just took me and like tugged at my heartstrings. I had so many feels and different parts of it, and I think it should be higher on this list as well. So Bran, I will use one of my vetoes right now so
Atta
that
girl.
we can
Wow.
move this up higher on the list.
You know what? I'm taking a shot in your honor. I'm taking a shot in your honor.
But I will say that one of my favorite parts is when they go when they have tea, and she mentions that he asks, well, do you like the holiday blend or the candy cane? And she says, oh, holiday blend, because I really like cinnamon. And then in comes Sterling and says, let me order for her, and I'm gonna get all peppermint. And then I'll just say Tyler Alex orders, I'll get the holiday blend with extra cinnamon. She takes a sip, right? And she's like, gives the face, and then he just hands her his tea. Like, I knew you weren't gonna like it. I ordered this one because I could swap it with you. I'll take the peppermint. And I was just like, oh, he's the mistletoe man.
Mistletoe man.
So yes, it belongs higher up on the list.
Bran is just lucking out left and right so far.
Yes.
I just don't.
Well, if I didn't have
Everyone's
three
anything
vetoes,
like
I
it.
probably wouldn't have done it.
Okay, so Tracy is vetoing the mistletoe secret at number 10. So Jen, you need to DM me another movie, please.
I'm so proud of us, Tracy. That was great. That was great teamwork.
Yeah, it was.
What if I put another one now that like you think needs to be higher?
Jen might be choosing chaos. It's the last thing I expected Tracy to do, honestly. Thought for sure.
If I had not rewatched it today, I probably wouldn't have done anything. But I rewatched it today and I was like, oh, I do like this movie a
I'm
lot.
speechless.
I do like it a lot. I like
I
it a lot.
told you it went on and off my list. So like I could technically give you my like current one, but I also think that one should be higher. It's very the bottom is harder. Guys.
The bottom's harder. I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I'm not touching that. I actually love the mistletoe secret. It's number 3 on my personal list. I love it.
Well, while
Kelly
Jen
Pickler
is thinking, can someone tell me who is Alex's partner in the scavenger hunt on Mistletoe Secret?
Oh, she's the actress. Like, she wants to be an actress, or she thinks she's an actress. Red curly hair. Can't think of her name. Dang it.
Her character's name was Catherine.
Catherine. I love when they go running for the snowball stuff and they find the first one and he just throws it and then she catches it behind him. She's like, oh, that's always one of my little favorite things.
I thought they were cute as a little pair.
They were.
They're cute together.
Jen, are you ordering this pick from DoorDash? What's happening?
I
right now?
know.
Bran, I don't stop stressing me out.
Bran, you're stressing her out.
I'm sorry.
Ordering this from DoorDash.
I'm thinking now.
All right.
She's trying to decide which other one to put in the veto.
Well, because the other one that I had, like originally, I just think probably could be up higher. Like, I don't know. Again, I didn't want to
I didn't want
I didn't want the last pick.
You should have complained more whenever we decided Tracy won the caddy shot.
to-
I don't know what I was gonna pick. So
I'm going with that one.
All right, your
Wow.
DoorDash has arrived. I do have Jen's pick. This is a movie from 2019. It co-starred Julie Gonzalo. Flip That Romance. So, rival house flippers Jules and Lance, played by Tyler, renovate dual sides of a duplex and rekindle an old romance. Word of their dueling duplexes reaches the editor of Innovative Designs, who offers the winner a magazine spread. Will renovating their duplex also rekindle and flip their old romance? I don't know, Jen, will it?
I did. First of all, I want to preface I did watch this in English, not the Spanish
You
version.
found it in English, yay!
It was offered in both ways. Yes.
It was somebody had it. Somebody gave it to me on their like Philo. That's how I watched it or something. I forget who it was. So yes, I did not watch the Spanish version, although I did watch a hot second of it and it was hilarious. Watching Tyler Hynes like dubbed in Spanish was funny if you ever want a good laugh. So I like this trope of like the leads that know each other already or like have already had a romance, because I find it less rushed than the ones where they meet and fall in love in 5 days or 3 days or a weekend. Because they have history, I like find it more believable. So I like that like the misunderstanding for the most part had already happened, although there was another one like later in the movie. I liked that they had history, so there was at least something to build on. And I liked their chemistry together. I think she is like a fun lead. I kind of wish sometimes she would do more. Yeah, it was one of those ones like I've seen more than once. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I kind of enjoy them together. So,
All right. So, Flip That Romance. Bran, are you going to try to get Tracy to use another veto because you don't want this further up on the list? How are you feeling about this one?
Well, I don't have this on the list. So now what I'm faced with is that means that one of my picks isn't going to be on the list. And am I going to be able to sleep tonight knowing that? I am. I'm going to let it go.
You're going to let it go. He's going to let it go, Trace. What about you, Tracy?
I have this at 9 on my list, so at 10 it doesn't bother me. I like it a lot. I love it when he has to when he's demolishing his side of the duplex and all of a sudden his head pops through the wall and he's like, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Like it was the comedy chops there that I really liked. And then there's one point, okay, this may just be a me thing, but he goes to order like a lemonade or an iced tea, and when he goes to suck out a straw, I've paused on that and go, that's such a cute little face. When he sucks on the straw,
he's so baby looking too in like those earlier movies that I was like, oh, look at little Tyler. Like it's not that long ago.
I'm good at that at 10.
It was also my 9, Tracy, like originally,
Okay.
but then I obviously had to move things around. So,
All right. Well, congratulations, Jen. You got your
good.
first
Pressure's
pick
off.
on the list.
Somebody
So
else.
Number 10 is Flip That Romance, and now it's Bran's turn to offer up number 9, which he has already sent to me.
Come show up. Show
Well,
up.
I had, a few hours while you were making your pick.
I think DoorDash is not going to leave my mind anytime soon. That was hilarious. You might have to steal that one. So Bran has chosen a movie from 2021 with Lacey Chabert. It's Sweet Carolina. Marketing executive Josie returns home when she becomes the unexpected guardian of her niece and nephew. While there, she reconnects with Cooper, her high school boyfriend, who is the basketball coach at her niece and nephew's school. Bran, why do you like this movie for number 9, Sweet Carolina?
So I don't really like this movie, but I do think it belongs on the list because there's a difference between whether or not I like it and whether or not I think it's a good movie. I do think this is a good movie. It's just big sads, and in the words of my good friend Panda, big sads. and that's not my jam, but I do think that it belongs on the list, but I also don't want it to be higher on the list. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing and putting it at number 9, where I feel good about it being.
Okay, good reasoning. Tracy, you are next in the veto order.
It
What do you
is
think about this?
It is on my list as well. I had it a little bit higher, but not a lot higher. I had it at 8. So it wasn't, and not so much because of the sads. It was a sad one. I don't want to laugh because the subject matter was sad, but I just think he wasn't like the main part of the movie either. Like he was kind of like the storyline, and the main part of it was Lacey and having to take custody of her niece and nephew.
Right.
That was the main storyline. So where I kind of agree with Bran, it is a good movie. And Tyler Hynes does co-star in it. It's not a Tyler Hynes movie. But because it is good, should be on the list. I agree. I'm okay with it at 9. That's fine.
But we do get to see him coach basketball, and so I think we're all better for that.
That's debatable too. Of course. Wait, do we have a friend that coaches basketball? Do we have a friend that coaches basketball?
He's there. He's present in a gym.
He borrows a van. He borrows a van once.
Borrows a fan. Yeah.
So
Brand, do
He
you
leaves
think you
me in
could
the gym a lot.
do you think you could beat Tyler Hynes in a free throw competition
Yes, I do.
based on his form? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, I don't think he ever held a basketball.
you would raise more money than he would, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I do. Well, actually, and no.
No, you're right. Because
If he puts it out there, I mean the Heinies, I believe, created a bot to beat Christopher Palaha in a just Jared poll. So no, I don't think I'd raise more money than Tyler Hynes.
well, wait, if he didn't put it out there though, if it was just purely based on free throws.
If it was just based on free throws,
Yeah.
I think I got it made in the shade.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jen, it's up to you. Sweet Carolina, is it going to stay at number 9 or are you going to veto it?
All right, so here's my thoughts. I also had it higher. I had it higher than Tracy, but I do understand that like he takes kind of a back seat. I think probably the reason why personally I have it higher is because I think it's one of her best movies, and so it's hard for me to like separate that out. But I just think she does really well in the movie. I get that it's like kind of sad and it's tough. Also, I just finished saying like I like that trope of when they know each other and then like get back together. So it's like for me personally higher. I think it belongs on the list, but I think I'm okay leaving it there because he doesn't play like as big of a role. Like personally, it's a higher movie for me, but I'm okay with it there.
Okay, so this is one step above it's fine for Jen. It's okay there instead.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So Sweet Carolina is locked in at number 9. Congratulations. Bran.
Next time, think longer, Bran.
I'll think longer for you next time.
I'll give you more time next time.
Thank you.
So Tracy, you are ready to send me your pick for number 8.
I am.
Tell you, I think you guys are wrong about Sweet Carolina not being a funny movie, because I don't think I have ever laughed so hard as when she thinks he's proposing.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
sitting
Yeah,
very
it's
funny.
funny.
That is a funny scene.
Made the whole movie for me. I laughed. I even texted Lynn. I'm like, this is the most hilarious thing because I had not seen it before. And I have never gotten the Tyler Hynes that everyone else seems to get. And I got it first time on this movie when he walks around the corner at the funeral dinner and he's in that
Yes.
that suit.
Even with that hair?
Yeah, the
I was
hair
like, oh
drop.
my
The
God.
hair was
I
the
was
choice.
thinking,
I know
like,
it wasn't
is
a
this
little
what
bit.
everybody else sees? Because oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That hair was like werewolf quality.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
like
no,
it.
that's-
I loved every bit about that look. So
That
Can
scene was pretty like classic. Like literally, you just reconnected like a week ago. Oh, also, I can't stand her family. That's the other like thing that bugs me about that movie. They're awful to her.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching it
they were
again. I'm
not
like,
nice.
that dad is
Her dad was really
nasty.
mean to her.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
and trauma, secondary trauma, just watching.
Okay. So I have Tracy's pick for number 8. It is a movie from 2018. Taylor Cole is in it. Tyler
Okay.
plays Zach. It's Falling for You. So radio host Lacey, played by Taylor Cole, is hosting a Bachelor Bake-Off. I just want to say that again, a Bachelor Bake-Off, to raise money to save her radio station. When her star bachelor backs out, she enlists Zach, Tyler Hynes, a visiting businessman, to fill the spot. This was Tyler's second movie, but it aired first before its Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas
So,
Eve.
Tracy, why is this one at number 8?
I think it's based almost solely on the very end scene when she goes and does the bake off, and then it's like the seas part, and there he is standing there at the end, and I'm just like, oh, that's a look I think every woman wants to get from Tyler Hynes. It's just or any man, I guess, I suppose, but if it's Tyler Hynes, of course. I think there's that. I mean, I had this a little bit lower on my list. But I won't mind bumping it up. I like Taylor Cole. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites, but when I'm looking at the other movies, because I could have went hardcore on y'all and picked a movie that you guys would have had to have vetoed, and not because it needs to be higher on the list, but because it's such a dumpster fire. But I chose not to. I went for something that could be somewhere on the bottom of this list, which it is at 8, in my opinion. Like I said, I had it a little bit lower, but at 10. But I like Taylor Cole in it. It's like I said, it's not one of my faves, but it's not one of the worst either. Because I look at my bottom, the ones that didn't make the list, and I'm like, no. But I don't think it needs to be higher up on the list either. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, well said. So that's the way Tracy's looking at it. Bran, how are you looking at it?
No veto for me. I had it also at 8. I do think that is the perfect place for this movie. I have fond memories of watching this movie, but as we were starting the podcast, this was one of the preview shows that we did before we were officially launched. It's a dumb way to start a show. And so I have fond memories of it. I remember Dan comparing, like saying that Tyler Hynes looked like a
Nathan Fillion.
What is it?
It was Nathan Fillion and
Matthew Perry.
And he does.
Which was very funny. And it was also the first time we had said something that we got a message from another Hallmark podcast and was like, hey, you might not want to do stuff like that. And we said, we're going to do more of it. So fond memories of this movie. It's not one of the best, but it involves podcasting, and it involves Tyler Hynes, and it involves fall. So I'm here for it.
Okay. Jen, is it going to stay here at number 8?
So weirdly enough, it is also on mine as number 8.
Hey!
Wow.
Yeah.
Like literally number 8. So yeah, I'm good with it. I like Tracy said, I like the pairing. There are some scenes that are really good, like the crowd parting for him. There are also a lot of wait what's, like, why is your program like looking at this, and why is the town budget like funding the radio station, and how is that, like, I have a lot of questions. But I liked it. I like the pairing. I mean, it's not my favorite. I've seen it a few times. I like it. It's fine. But yeah, it was already 8 on mine, so we're good.
You're good.
I feel like when you release the list, you should like put an asterisk next to the ones that we all agreed on.
Okay.
As like, that was the perfect spot for it. We all agreed.
They all agreed.
8 is
writing
great.
that down. I'm writing that one down. Good thinking, Bran. All right, so
I lost my pen. Good thing I have like 20 of them.
So DoorDash woman, it's your turn again.
You got this. You got this. And you take your time. Don't let them try to push you, make you go faster.
From the
I got all night.
Bran?
Yeah.
Jen's thinking of a word.
It's
Bran.
After Hours. And usually when I'm after hours, language comes out.
It's fair.
I'm holding back.
Thank you. Very
After
sensitive.
hours.
I don't want to hurt your sensitive ears.
I know, I'm very sensitive.
So funny.
It's
You're
it's
too
a
funny.
lot. It's a lot
Jen
to
is
think about
thinking.
to know where to put which movie. I really wanted someone to veto a movie at 10 to put it at 9. I was really hoping for
The
that
Lady
one.
Panda move. Yeah. That would be funny. That would be funny.
Lady in the movie.
So, Bran, have you seen the new Tyler movie that doesn't come out until the 25th? Do you get
I have not seen it. No, we don't get
No.
screeners. No, I haven't seen it. I did see the thing he released.
Oh, the Chimera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Chimera.
Thought that was really good.
Interesting.
I think the color grading on it is beautiful. Like it looks
It's
just
beautiful.
fantastic.
It's a beautiful.
And I think that's the
That's what you-
thing that he was either scouting locations for or is getting ready to shoot when we did the thing in the motel where I took that I think they were scouting locations for that project. So I'm happy that it's finally happened.
Oh,
That was
the
almost
apple.
one of my trivia questions. Was what was he eating while we all thought he was going to be
That's why I went with apple.
Oh, with a
whiskey.
plastic knife.
taken away?
The apple with the plastic knife. Absolutely. And Ryan working in the back.
It came very close to being a trivia question.
That's funny.
I feel I should not be the person to announce this title, but I'll say it anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So this is a movie from
Veto!
No, that's not why. That's not
Okay,
why.
okay.
2018. It co-stars Leanne Rhymes. Tyler is Liam. It's Christmas Eve. Bran, you can say it.
It's Christmas Eve.
There you go. It's Christmas Eve. So, for those who don't know, interim school superintendent Eve trims schools' budgets, as you do. And now she's in her hometown where it's personal. Her handsome neighbor, Liam, is a single dad and happens to be the music teacher who's part of the arts program Eve is cutting. Why do you like this at number 7?
So here's another one I moved around a lot. This is why. I like them together. I think they have really great chemistry. That kiss at the end is like, right? Like, talk about kissing big ones. I like the whole scene. I think that's because I like the last 10 minutes of it. That it is that is the part I like. I like when she sings and they open the door and it's the finishing of the song. I like that whole part. But I have a really hard time with movies where they're school based, where an interim superintendent is just randomly hopping around from place to place and just that's her job, and they're giving her job interviews on Christmas Eve and the whole school aspect of it where they're just we're gonna just have this random fundraiser because we don't want to cut the arts and this one thing is gonna save the school. I just find when they portray schools or when they portray any job, it's not always realistic. So I like the fact I love them together. I think the biggest thing with this movie is I like the last 10 or 15 minutes the most. If the last 10 or 15 minutes was the whole movie, it would probably be higher.
All right. Bran, what do you think? It's Christmas Eve for number 7.
Yeah, I'm okay with this here. I have a skosh higher, but not by much. And but I think it's good, not great. Little baby face boy there. Yeah, I like it. I think this is a good place for it. And if for no other reason than it gave us me saying it's Christmas Eve more than I think anybody else wants it to be there. So I like it there.
We actually had a drinking game bet to see how many times we could get you to sing It's Christmas Eve throughout the show tonight. So
It's Christmas Eve.
there you go.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Over under on has he said it's Christmas Eve or what are you doing in my house more? Which one comes out more? What are you doing in my house?
Exactly.
I think I sing It's Christmas Eve more, but I could be wrong.
Probably. Tracy, is this going to stay at number 7?
I have it a skosh higher at 6 on my list.
Me too.
It's a 6. Here it has our boy Antonio in it. which
Yeah,
that
forgot
elevates
about
it
that.
quite a bit. Antonio is in it, so I'm like, that's every time I watch it, I'm like, yay, Antonio. I'm right there with you about that kiss at the end. Sometimes I'm not even gonna hide it. I will put this on and run it all the way to the end, don't watch anything, and then just rewatch that kiss. Because
Oh,
Yum.
Tracy.
it's a good kiss. And
You are
can
such a
we all-
romantic.
is.
Tracy.
Can we all agree that Tyler Hynes is the king of Hallmark kisses? I could argue that but it's so good because he's just like, he goes,
Are
finally.
we taking all the kisses? Because I'm telling you what.
Oh no, there are some where he's
Violator
there's some that he's not.
is the king of Hallmark kisses.
Well, I would argue Tyler Hynes because he's got more kissing big ones. Maybe Andrew Walker. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. If we were taking them all as round, like all the kisses, yes, I think Tyler Hynes probably has the best. But like, if we're
This
just
isn't
saying
a bad idea, Lynn, for a future draft. Like not
Like
big
not
country.
the kisses, but drafting the kissers themselves as a collective whole, I think would be a really interesting.
It's on my list.
That's not objectifying at all.
Best kissers.
I wasn't aware that we were trying not to objectify. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't
Look,
know.
I'm
That
wearing
changes.
him on. I'm wearing him. Like,
Yeah.
That was not given in the rules at the beginning of this.
No, but
Objectifying was not listed.
it's not fine. I remember specifically Tyler Hynes at one of his Facebook Lives said, "Go ahead and objectify me," and I was like, "You asked for it." So
You know what? I think
Oh,
it would be
Jesus.
really great at Bramblefest to have a kissing booth for charity.
No.
what if it's a doggy in the booth?
All right. I'll allow
I mean,
it.
speaking of objectifying, I'm having a hard time like not picturing that picture with that
Right.
background that you
I'm
have
saying
behind
as somebody who has
you. You have
been
that background behind you right now.
as someone who's
Big
been
one.
negatively objectified on the internet for a couple of years now, I'll allow it.
I'm good. I won't use the veto on this. I do like this movie. It's good at 7.
It's good at 7. Okay, so awesome. So that is up to you, Bran, for number 6. I'm going to do a quick recap. So at 10, we have Flip That Romance. At 9, Sweet Carolina. At 8, Falling for You. At 7 is It's Christmas Eve. And now Bran is going to offer up number 6.
Okay.
With his DoorDash.
Hard time buying him as a dad in that movie, and it threw me off like the whole movie. Like it just, I'm a kid that old. Like I'm like, he is not that kid's dad. The Funkle maybe, but
Not the-
it kind of threw off the whole movie for me. It really did.
So this is I think this is a really interesting pick from Bran. This is from 2022. It co-stars Holland Roland. It's Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. This was all Hallmark Movies and Mysteries presentation. So 4 days before Christmas, Elizabeth Athens receives a voicemail from an unknown number. She doesn't recognize it. And in the message, a man's voice, whom she doesn't know, makes one final plea to the love of his life for a second chance. And one of my favorite Hallmark actors, I don't think he's ever been a romantic lead. I'm really not sure, but Steve Basic, he is so
He
good.
was.
So
With,
good.
Sarah
time.
Rue. All
One
for
time.
Love plays a former Navy SEAL in All for
Yes.
Love with Sarah
I
Rue.
love that movie.
Good.
So
And
he only
she's
has
like a
to-
romance writer, and he has to like
Yep.
help her like write the book. It's great. I've watched it
Yes.
5 times.
It's one
I
of my
don't think
good.
I've seen that. I don't think I've
Highly
seen that.
recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So
So do I.
Bran, tell us about this movie and why you think it should be number 6.
Part of me is putting this here to spite Dan.
Yeah, and this is the one Dan said, no.
Yeah, he did say no. And ironically, it was actually lower on my list. So now I've brought it up just to spite him even more. Some things have transpired in the last half hour that have caused me to look at my list and go, if there is one movie, because again, with Flip That Romance being on the list, I had to be okay with one going away. And I thought to myself, will I be okay with this movie not being on the list? And I guess the answer is no. I just, there's something about this one that I find to be incredibly charming and incredibly dumb in all the right ways. The kiss at the end, perfecto. So you know what? I'm okay. Listen, should it be here? I don't know. But is it here? It is for now. Let's find out what happens.
Should it be here? He doesn't know, but it's here. It's here right for now. It's here. So, Tracy, is it going to stay here?
I don't dislike this one as much as Dan dislikes this one. Dang it, it does not belong at 6. It's not that good.
You have 2 vetoes left.
I know. I can't, it's just like last time. I can hear Dan's voice in my head, but I'm not gonna let that.
A question you have to ask yourself though, Trace, is can you allow it to be number 4?
You wouldn't.
What?
You wouldn't.
What
I don't
happened to
know.
choosing love over here? That lasted.
You know, the
I'm
chocolate
choosing-
bird singing it.
I'm choosing to love myself.
Self-care is important. It is important.
I mean, like I said, I have this at 11. So just didn't make my list. It got bumped because I was moving Mistletoe Secret up, right? So so I did have it originally on my top 10, but at 6, you wouldn't dare play it at 4. You I can't tell. I'm like looking at you can't tell.
He's not giving anything away.
He said it was a movie that it would upset him if it wasn't on the list. That's why he's
Bran
playing
says a
it.
lot of
I don't
things. So
I gotta this is why I also try to be drafter A so I can get the number 1 pick. But
yes, no.
oh god, it doesn't belong at 6. But okay, now I'm looking to see which one of mine won't make the list now because of that. If I don't veto it.
Well, Jen might
have-
veto it.
You have so much power.
I'm gonna leave it be and see what Jen does, and I may have to just live with it at 6 if that's the way it's got to be.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna live with it.
I'm surprised.
Jen, are you going to rescue this movie from being at number 6? Or are you going to let it slide?
You want to know what it was for mine?
What was it? Oh God, what? 5?
Shoot.
I love this movie. As dumb as it is, like I really, even during the Christmas season, I really enjoyed it. And then I watched it again and I was like, I just like it. Like, yes, it's a dumb, like Dan, like Bran said, it's dumb, but I like the mystery. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous that they both got these like stupid phone calls, whatever. I just enjoyed it. I don't know what it is about it. It was, I swear, it's on my list as number 5. Like, so number 6 is totally fine with me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dang, okay.
I would like to be a fly on the wall when Bran
I can't wait for the comments.
tells him number 6. Congratulations, it's locked in at number 6. Do you guys want to take a quick break or are you cool to keep going?
I'm
I'm
okay.
good.
You good? Everybody good? All right.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Yeah, we're making good progress. So Tracy,
Huh.
it is up to you for number
Oh.
5.
Okay. Dang it. Shoots. That changes my strategy a little bit.
Mhm.
Last.
Yes,
All right.
I had this higher than Mistletoe Secret.
I can't even. I just
I
can't.
think Dan should rewatch it.
I was really hoping Bran would have played Mistletoe Secret the last one. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, dang it. So now I'm like, ugh. All right.
She's typing
Oh.
away
He's typing
Okay.
with determination.
All right. I have Tracy's pick for number 6. It's from 2020, Mallory Jansen. It's the co-star. It's on the 12th date of Christmas. Two game creators, both vying for a promotion, must team up to create a Christmas scavenger hunt.
Christmas scavenger hunt.
It was a fun movie. It was, I like scavenger hunt movies. This is definitely better than whatever that previous year scavenger hunt movie was.
Christmas scavenger hunt.
Christmas
That was called scavenger hunt. You're right. See, that's how much I remember.
That's how much you remember it.
I thought this one was fun. I really like Mallory Jansen and Tyler together. They were really good. And they did a lot of fun stuff. Let's see, what did I put in my notes? Wait, because it's no longer in that spot for me anymore. I liked the dynamic between Tyler and his family, like his sister and his niece. I liked the fact that he started off being kind of this curmudgeon-y, leave me alone. I kind of want to work by myself. And then she kind of broke through that crusty kind of barrier. I liked that. It was something a little bit different. He didn't just come in as all Mr. Charming and like sweep the girl off her feet right away. So I kind of like that part of it. Yeah, so I liked it. And then there was the whole little Mr. Romano, the neighbor who would take out his ear, his hearing aids, and there's all kinds of cute parts to it. So I like that one. It is literally number 5 on my list. So here we go, number 5.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, he does kind of start out pretty douchey at the beginning of the movie, So, Bran, what do you think about on the 12th date of Christmas? I love scavenger hunts. Do you like scavenger hunts, Bran?
No. But I do like this movie. I do like this movie quite a lot.
I would think you would love scavenger hunts.
It's too much. Like
Bran said he wasn't going to get mean in this.
No, it's just overly complicated. You're making a day more complicated. Like there's enough we have to figure out every day. Why are we purposely doing this? I have this movie a skosh higher, but I like this placement. I am not going to use my veto.
No veto from Bran. Okay.
And Trace is in the background scratching off Bramblefest scavenger hunt.
No, I love people that love it, but don't.
No kissing booth, no scavenger hunt.
Doggy kissing booth.
I approve the doggy kissing booth.
Mm-hmm. I would be. I'd take my
I'd be all over that.
Take my money.
Money, please.
Jen, is this going to stay on the 12th date of Christmas at number 5? 5 golden onion rings. What?
5 golden onion rings.
Golden onion rings.
Which none of us got.
None of you.
I had this as my number 4. So I rewatched it and I was like, I really like this movie. The first time I watched it, you watched it in the midst of all Christmas and like it kind of blurs together at some point. Yeah. So watching it kind of standalone was nice. Like I was like, I like her with him. Like I think she needs to be in more things. I agree. I liked how he was like curmudgeon-y at the beginning and kind of like a jerk and then slowly kind of warmed up. I think this scavenger hunt idea at least seems more viable than like some of the other app idea type things they come up with in Hallmark movies. And I thought it was fun. Like I thought the whole storyline of her deciding if she was going to keep doing this, like if this was her place, if she was supposed to be there, her grandmother coming to support her was nice. And like them getting to do the scavenger hunt. I liked it. I thought it was a good one. So I am good because it was, I had just a little higher on mine. So.
Wow. Okay. So on the 12th date of Christmas is locked in at number 5. And that brings us back to you, Bran, for the number 4 pick.
Lynn, could you give us a quick rundown of where we are so far?
Sure. So number 10 is Flip That Romance. Number 9 is Sweet Carolina. 8 is Falling for You. 7 is It's Christmas Eve. 6 is Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. 5 is On the 12th Date of Christmas. And that brings us to number 4. I'm still surprised Bran doesn't like scavenger hunts.
No.
I would-
He very definitively gave you a no.
Yeah, very definitively.
Like
Yeah, I was like, no.
no
Mm-mm.
DoorDash thought there.
Can I send you a question and you just give me a
Yes,
yes or
yeah.
no?
God, Bran.
I
You didn't
go
need
to
to
the
answer the
library.
question.
I had to go to the library to get my 12th date of Christmas because I could
Did
not
that, was
find
that
it
in
anywhere else.
Chicago? Was that the city that they were doing?
Yeah, but they use like
Yeah.
the tree from Rockefeller Center for
Do
Can
parties.
you just
they?
give me a yes or no, Lynn?
You didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely you can.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I think they did. I was reading something about like mistakes or whatever. So I think they did. At least the one time it was like they just took the tree and like kind of put it in a different place.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in Rockefeller Plaza, but it was definitely the Rockefeller tree. I was like,
That's so crazy.
it was weird.
Yeah, and I didn't notice. So I was too busy thinking about, onion rings.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to give you something else to think about instead of onion
Okay.
rings. I
Okay.
have Bran's pick for number 4. And it is The Mistletoe Secret, which we've sort of talked about. This is Kelly Pickler, Chris Russell, Tyler Hynes. You like this at number 4, Bran?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
a yes? I don't know what that was.
Okay.
Sure.
I want. Can I talk? Can I
What?
talk? Can I talk through this? Can I talk through this?
Yes, you can.
I've already made it clear that at least one of my movies is not going to make the list. Okay. So it is, but I feel fairly certain that the three of us have the same top 3 in some sort of order. So in my mind, it is between this movie and another movie. And I just think that this one gets a bad rap. And I think it's a lot of fun. I think his chemistry with Chris Russell is pristine. We got Patrick Duffy crushing it. And then, there's someone else. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it anymore.
No.
Because it has already been said that without Pickler, all of us are having this higher up on our list. So why don't we just live in a world? We just take the movie for what it is, act like she's not there, and put it where it belongs at number 4. That's what I'm going to do.
Bran advocating to cancel out Kelly Pickler.
I'm not advocating to cancel Kelly Pickler. Just acting to act as if she was never born. There's a difference.
Oh, be
that's what I
nice.
heard.
Her husband just died.
I know. I
gosh,
literally messaged
Tracy.
after this happened. Like I'm watching it like 2 days later, and I'm like, I feel really
her
bad.
husband
Crashing on her.
Okay, then you know what? All the more reason. Number 4. Let's give it to her.
Number 4. So Bran advocating to not get this one vetoed. So Tracy, you're up. What do you think? Is The Mistletoe Secret going to stay at number 4?
It wasn't quite that high up on my list. I agree with Brandon that I think the three of us probably have the same top 3 in some kind of different order or the same. I don't know. So that means I'm looking at my number 4 going, am I okay not having this one on the list at all and having this one in place of it?
You have 2 vetoes left, Trace?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. So, I mean, I could veto it here.
But would a Tyler Hynes definitive 10 best movie list
Okay,
be
here's the other
complete?
thing about Mistletoe Secret.
Yeah.
He wears glasses in it.
Yeah.
Got the glasses. I was like watching that today going, ooh, we get Tyler Hynes in glasses. Like that too. I do have 2 vetoes left, but I might want to just save it so that the number 1 is number 1. That's what I'm thinking. Although I think just based on just on the podcast, I think Bran and I have the same number 1. I have no idea if Jen has the same number 1. I am going to, oh gosh, darn it. I'm gonna sacrifice my number 4. I'm gonna keep on hoarding vetoes.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep it there because I do like it. Maybe not that much, but I'm willing to sacrifice my number 4 so that it's not on the list.
Wow. Okay, Jen,
Not an easy.
you have a veto and a veto override, which you could have played if Tracy had vetoed this and you wanted to keep it on the list in the 4 position, you could have played your veto override. But now you can only play your veto, or you can let it ride as is.
So here's the problem. One, if I veto this, Bran has made it seem like I'm a jerk.
No.
No.
I'm just kidding. All right. So I obviously thought it needed to be on the list because that's why I put it on. So, like Tracy said, if I decide to leave it here, again, I did not have it that high up, but I didn't have it that high up because of the female lead. Had it been a different female lead, it probably would have been much higher. If I leave it where it is, I have to be okay with one of my other ones not being on there. Again, I'm probably thinking we have, like everybody has said, similar top 3. The one that would be left off that was on my list, I'm probably okay with because it wasn't this high anyway. If that makes sense, like the one that's gonna get booted off wasn't this high up. It was further down. I don't know if I care enough about the one that's missing to veto this. Like, that sounds awful, but like I don't know if I
When
do.
you go to sleep tonight, are you going to be wondering, should I just veto it? I could have played that movie. Or are you just like, I'm sleeping like a baby?
No, I think that I'm fine, especially if I go from a Tyler standpoint. I like Tyler more in this movie than the one that's probably going to get left off. Like, so if I'm going at it from that standpoint and the fact that these are Tyler movies, I probably prefer him in Mistletoe Secret than the other one that is going to get left off the list. So I think I will sleep fine, and not just because I'm having whiskey.
So Jen says she's still sober enough to let this slide. The Mistletoe Secret is locked in at number
Okay,
4.
I'm gonna veto myself.
What?
I'm gonna veto myself. That's allowed. Yes.
Yes.
Comes back around. I can be convincing. So I'm gonna veto myself.
Bran making history
Bran.
here on the
Yeah.
podcast. You were the
Guys, are
first
you
person
kidding me? It
ever.
doesn't belong at number 4. Have you lost your minds?
I knew you were trying to goad us into
What are you
it.
doing? What are you guys doing?
Self veto. Wow.
If I listen, okay, here's the truth. If I had any doubt of what the top 3 are going to be, I wouldn't have done that. But because I do, I think I'm going to be able to sleep just fine with whatever the top 3 ends up being. And
Right.
so I honestly just could have gone either way. And so I went for it. And then I talked myself out of it. So here we are.
Wow. Truly an iconic moment.
Wow, Bran.
I'm here to
Hallmark
make
Movie
history,
Drafts.
everybody. I'm here to make history.
Self-vetoing. So I already have
Self-veto.
self-veto. Yep.
Means I
So
can
I already have
play
Bran's
one.
pick.
I'm just
I did
saying.
not see this coming.
Doesn't Jen get a chance to override?
Yes.
If-
Do you want to
Oh,
override
she does.
it?
Do you want to
Oh,
override
geez.
self-veto?
My God.
Jen,
that.
Jen just wants her,
Oh my
Jen just wants her
God.
bourbon.
Oh
Oh,
God.
no, I'm sorry, Jen. I take it back. She can't override. We got to keep going.
She can.
Oh,
How many vetoes are going to be spent on the Mistletoe Secret? do you
like
think, Jen?
again, it's so hard because like I think it belongs on the top 10, which is why I put it at 10. Like,
Absolutely.
like, come on. Like, but I don't think it belongs at 4.
I had it at 7. That's where I had it
That's where I had it.
originally.
Tracy had it too.
I had
So Jen, what
So
do you
listen,
think?
we all like the movie. If we all like the movie, then do the veto override. It's like you're going to use that anyway.
She can carry it over to her next draft if she.
Oh,
wants.
wow. Okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
overdrives carried over. I thought it was just straight up vetoes. Okay.
I didn't know either.
Everything.
Just
everything.
acting like I did.
It's playing lots. There's lots. That's the long game sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you think, Jen?
Here's the thing. I'm assuming I know which one he's going to put in its place, but I also didn't think he was going to veto this one. So, like, the problem is, oh my God, Bran, seriously?
Sorry.
What do you think, Jen? Veto override or let it slide?
I'm going to let it slide because I want to see what the heck he's going to do.
Okay, so Bran self-vetoed his the mistletoe secret. He's already sent me his replacement pick, and this is a movie from 2020 with Lacey Chabert, who plays Chelsea. It's Winter in Vale. Chelsea inherits a house in Vale. We should all be so lucky, right? She meets Owen and gets a much needed break from her work. Together, they put on a Strudelfest, one of my favorite things to say, to highlight the old charm of Vale. And this movie is the one that Tyler says launched his whole boot shot tradition. So tell us why you love Winter in Vale for number 4, Bran.
Well, I love Winter in Vale because it's the reason why we met Tyler Hynes. He came on the podcast to talk about Winter in Vale. So special place in my heart. I also think about this movie as kind of the start of Heine Central. Like, I think that, like, I mean, I could be wrong. I think there were people starting to get on board with the mistletoe secret, but like this one, I think really skyrocketed Tyler into the Hallmark stratosphere. And so there's a lot of about this movie that I think is historic. I also just happen to really like this movie and like the veil of it all and like the hot chocolate bomb. And there's a lot, I really like it. And so that's, I think that it belongs here more than Mistletoe Secret. For that reason, I vetoed myself and I'm putting this here.
Well played, well played. This movie lives on our DVR permanently, much to my husband's horror, but I love this movie too. So, Tracy.
It's
What do
my
you
number
think?
4. This is the one that I was like, do I sacrifice this one for Mistletoe Secret? Nah. Yeah, I do like this one a lot for all the reasons Bran said. That's when I think I got more Tyler on my radar. Like, I've seen him in other things, but that was the one where I went to like look for a Facebook group and look for all that kind of stuff. So you know, that kind of thing.
Stalking, is that what you're trying to say?
Anyway, so yeah, number 4. That's my number 4.
Wow.
Yep.
Sharing a mind with Bran again. Jen.
So
Yeah.
this is the one I had a feeling he was gonna put there. This is the one I had lower. It was still above Mistletoe Secret. It was still on my list, but it was lower. It did start my love of hot chocolate bombs. Like, now I just randomly watch videos of them because I just find them soothing. But that like restaurant when they're in the and they like pour the milk on and the thing opens up, it's like fascinating. It's so great.
Wasn't there like gold in there too?
Yeah, that thing was fancy. I mean, the ones I've had last year, I had a student give me like 4 of them for Christmas. The best present I ever got. Right before I had COVID, so obviously that Christmas it was.
So wait, there are videos of chocolate bombs?
Oh yeah, if you just Google like them opening, like it's when I say like it's like soothing, it really.
And there's videos of everything, Lynn.
It's like people like ASMR of like things. I'm just like,
Sure.
hey, hot chocolate bombs just opening up. Something
Wow.
about it, the milk pouring and it opening, just I find
Let's check this
relaxing.
out. Let's check this out.
It is the better of her Veil movies, obviously. Because the other Veil movies are not.
Very nice.
Well done. Well done, Jen.
So yeah, I mean, this again, I had it higher than Mistletoe Secret on my list. Again, I do think like I prefer his character in Mistletoe Secret and how he plays off of like the other people better, but I like them together. I had the other movie higher on my personal, like, if I were gonna watch it again, like I'd prefer to watch Sweet Carolina over this one, but both I enjoy.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm fine. Like I like them together. I think like there's some fun, like the beginning parts of the movie when she parks on the street and he's like, "You can't park there." Like, is a fun little scene. So yeah, I mean, again, lower on my list, but you know, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with it. All right. So Winter and Vale stays at number 4. We're going to move into the final 3. I'm going to do a quick recap though to let everybody know where we're at. And then Jen, you can send me your pick for number 3 while I do this. So
All right.
at 10th, we have Flip That Romance. 9 is Sweet Carolina. 8 is Falling for You. 7 is It's Christmas Eve. 6 is Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. 5 is On the 12th Date of Christmas. 4 is Winter in Vale. And Jen will send me her number 3.
I love Winter in Vale because unlike a lot of movies that they say are filmed in Colorado, they really did film scenes from this movie in Colorado. And so being that I'm from here, I've been to Vail. It was fun to see that. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, you finally got it right. It wasn't all filmed in Vail, but a good portion of it was. It was very nice to see.
I have a secret desire to make strudel with Tyler Hynes. I think that would be really fun. Touching that dough, stretching it.
I'm not even
like,
drinking, and I was going to say
fold it up.
something.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
No one's gonna touch that? Come on, guys.
What?
Filtering yourself?
I am, and I'm not even drinking.
I know.
I was like, Lynn, you just threw me a softball, and I was just so good.
I did. I can't believe you left me hanging too.
Ugh. So good.
All right.
I'm doing so good.
I have Jen's pick for number 3. So it's from 2022. Andrew Walker is in it. Paul Campbell is in it. Tyler plays Taylor. It's 3 Wise Men and a Baby. This was written by Kimberly Susted and Paul Campbell. There are 3 brothers, Stephen, Taylor, and Luke Brenner, and they're surprised when they find themselves forced to care for a baby during the holidays. And during the journey, they begin to rebuild their relationships as brothers while rediscovering their love for Christmas. Terry Ingram directed this, and Tyler plays the grumpy brother, pretty much steals the show in this movie, as far as I'm concerned. Lots of little quirky things come out of his mouth with a straight face. So why do you like this as number 3, Jen?
I mean, it's a genuinely funny movie. There's some really good parts, especially like watching it the second time. I think I caught things like, for example, there's a line where like Paul Campbell says, "It's an unexpected Christmas," and I like had a good chuckle because I was like, "Hey, that's the other movie you wrote," like with Tyler Hynes. Like, I don't know if it was on purpose, but I liked it. I like the 3 of them together. I think even though he's like, they're kind of supporting each other, they all have their own storyline. As opposed to like when we were talking about with Sweet Carolina, where he kind of plays like more of a back burner to the theme, like Lacey's storyline. I think they all have a equal kind of part in this. And I just think like he's fun. Like there are some genuinely funny scenes, like in the grocery store when he's like, we gotta evacuate the building or whatever, like when the diaper's like dirty, or like stealing or buying the wagon from like the kid on the street, and like and then losing his wallet. Like there's funny like parts which you don't often get in a Hallmark movie. And I think they play off of each other really well. Like the 3 of them together, like you can tell they genuinely enjoyed working together, which I think is fun. So
and the dance.
I probably moved these 3, and maybe not. Like there were some that I kind of moved around a lot, but the kind of probably 3 we're going to talk about were consistently like are in my 3. But yeah.
So Bran, is this you don't have a veto, So
But yeah, I don't have a problem with this. I had it one higher. So two. I realized I took a long pause after one. I had it too. But I really like it. It's very funny. But I understand. I understand the people that have this as their favorite Tyler Hynes movie, and I also understand it being number 3. I can be persuaded either way, which is probably why I had it too. But yeah, it's great, big fun. I'm fine with it.
He's fine with it. Tracy, are you fine with it?
I think Bran and I have the exact same top 3 because I had it at 2 as well. So yeah, I guess I could be okay with it at 3. Yeah, sure. I think it was funny. It was hilarious. I love the ahoy. Come on. When the like ahoy and anyway, and then when Tyler Hynes is holding the baby and then he holds Paul Campbell's hand and then just starts doing squats and just up and down, and Paul Campbell trying to keep a straight face. Of course, there's the dance, there's the, it was I'm like with Bran. I said I know some people would I can understand why people would have it at 1 and at 3, so I'm good with it at 3. There we go.
Tracy's good with it at 3. Bran, that means it's over to you for this pick number 2, the second.
Gotta see, am I gonna have the same number 1 as you, or do you need to play that now?
Oh boy.
Exactly. She's throwing it down. This will be interesting.
You never know.
I have not put anything on the Facebook group about, oh, this is my favorite Tyler Hynes of a until this draft was over. Not saying
I thought about just throwing a random movie in there just to see, but I couldn't do it.
Does it start with R? Because that would have been hilarious.
I was about to say, well, it might start with,
W.
I'm scared. I'm scared to share my list at the end of this. I'm very scared.
Oh, I have a feeling I know what one is high on your list, given the message you sent me the other day.
You mean?
She sent me a message the other day, and I won't spoil it yet because that I was like, oh, this is definitely they're on her list, and it's not even on mine.
My jaw is dropped. Brandon,
What?
we do not pick shame here on this show, so
Okay.
I'm just going to read the title here.
Voting me for a veto.
Brandon has picked. Are you
Sorry
sitting down?
to say, did you say we don't pick shame on this show?
I did, but that's really what the show's about, pick shaming. So there you have it. Anyway,
I will pick shame.
we'll pick shame. Bran has picked a movie from 2019. It co-stars Cindy Busby, Josie Bissett, Jack Wagner. It's My Boyfriend's Back, Wedding March #5. Annalise, played by Cindy Busby, a young, ambitious wedding planner, partners with Olivia, Josie Bissett, to plan the perfect wedding. What she doesn't know is that the groom's best man, Brad, Tyler Hynes, is none other than her ex-boyfriend, who she hasn't spoken to in 5 years.
Please
Why-
make your case, Brandon.
Why do you like this at number 2?
Let me make the argument. Let me make the argument.
Yes. You're among friends.
I'm gonna pick you.
Let's make this argument really quick.
Have you watched this movie?
Can I just talk, guys, before y'all get mad at me?
I don't think he has.
Can I talk?
Yep.
As we talk about Tyler Hynes,
Oh Lord.
we talk about him as being one of the best in the Hallmark universe. And I think this movie is a perfect example of why that is true. Because they took an absolute dog turd
He hasn't watched.
and they said, let's make a 5th one of these. And let's put some guy in there named Tyler Hynes. And you know what? Tyler Hynes managed to make this movie watchable. So as I looked at my list, I knew there was going to be some that maybe I wouldn't have on the list. Maybe some would get kicked off. But I think it's important to put this one on here because it showcases just how good he is.
I'm not even hiding it. Not even hiding it. You gotta be shitting me. Well, sorry, now you gotta put a little E next to your. Come on.
What? Tell me what's wrong with this pick.
I know for a fact that you only watched the last one.
But I've had weeks.
You didn't have the
Oh,
list.
you didn't even know this.
You
was
had
on
it
the
this
list
morning.
until this
Guys, I knew what was on the list.
That list
I knew it
was
was
sent
on the
out.
list,
I
guys.
will ask. Hey,
That list
Erin,
was sent
did
out the
Bran
same
watch
day
Wedding
I
March
checked the
today?
chat.
I
Yeah.
have been I told you I've been thinking about it. I just wanted to have the list in front of me.
Good.
Okay,
Googly
Tracy?
moogly.
Tracy,
Come on. No, it's
was
my
this
turn.
number? Yeah, it's your turn, and you have vetoes. Is this going to stay at number 2? My boyfriend's
This
back. Wedding
is-
March twice.
This is effing last on my list. I think I may have even said it in a chat once on a thing. I'm like, but you haven't seen the Wedding March one yet. You're like, there's another Wedding March. I'm like, yeah, there's one with Tyler Hynes. But I think I may have given that one away before. Come on, this is an absolute dog turd. It's horrible. It is so bad. Like, I love Tyler, and you're right. He does make it watchable, but not likable. And I like Cindy Busby. I'm a Cindy Busby. Since I met her in person, she's super nice. I'm a Cindy Busby stan now. But come on, those two together could not. Oh God, it was so bad. Like so bad. Oh, and I was gonna just play. I was gonna say something funny about Roadhouse Romance. You could play this dog turd piece of crap.
So is that a veto?
Of course,
that
I'm
a
gonna
veto?
veto it. This doesn't belong anywhere near the top 10.
I think Bran has chosen violence and chaos.
I
He's
thought
talking about
we
love.
love. And look, I'm not even drinking, and I'm already. I'm in Megan Markle right now. Are you kidding me?
I was going
It's
to
a
ask you if you had to pick
territory.
between the two movies.
Oh, what? That one or this one? I'd still pick the Wedding March because that's Tyler Hynes in it. But yeah, no.
I think
Veto.
I'm
Go
Bran.
ahead and send them your real number 2, Bran. Go ahead and
I
send them.
think I'm in a state of shock right now
Send them your real number 2.
because
Am I wrong though? That this showcases
Yes.
the magic?
you're wrong because you didn't watch it. First of all,
I have not gone on the record and said that.
I
Jen,
have watched.
not
I
gone on the
watched
record
this
and said
movie.
that.
Talk about dedication. I watched
I've
this
seen this movie twice.
second time.
And then I tried
yeah.
to watch it again and fell asleep. And then I tried to watch
Yeah.
it again and fell
Same.
asleep.
I
Tyler Hynes
rewatched-
keeps me awake.
I watched it the first time it aired. I watched it again when all of the the 6th one was happening or whatever one it was, and then I watched it this past week, and
Wow.
it didn't get any better ever.
I kept on trying to
If
give it a chance.
anything,
I'm gonna
it
watch
gets
again.
worse.
I just want to say this. I'll send everyone.
Okay.
This was to prove a point. We need to tax the rich, and we need to not let people bring more than 2 vetoes over. That's too many vetoes. So I'm taking one of your vetoes so that
You
as you
don't
go to
publish
this
the video, do you? Do you?
what?
You publish the video? This is just all audio, right, Lynn?
That's right. Yes, it's all audio.
I won't say
Well, that
anything.
feels personal. That feels personal. I just listen. I think that's too much power. I think it's too much power.
Hey, then you need to do more drafts. Then you can build up your vetoes.
I'm against it. I'm against it in general. I think we don't know what tomorrow brings. Let's
And
use all of our
You
vetoes.
also don't know that you can only move over a max of 2 vetoes. You can't just keep on piling them.
Yeah,
up.
you can't.
but what
you
I'm saying,
can't-
you have,
I
but
do
you
know
have,
that.
you had 2. You
No,
have
she had
two.
I had one when I
Said
came
one.
in. I used
Right.
it right away. That left 2. So I could have used those 2 and use them from my.
That's what I'm saying. That's too many.
No,
That's
it's
too
not.
many.
That's part
That's
of the
too many.
game.
I think you
Yes,
should
yeah,
be
the
able to
game
bring
has a
one over. I
If
think
you
you
can't
should be
play
able
by
to
the
bring.
rules, then you shouldn't be playing.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just
boys
trying
and girls,
to.
behave yourselves.
I'm
We
just
still have an
trying.
override.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to level the scales of justice. That's all I'm trying to do here.
Oh my God.
And no, I didn't watch the movie.
Didn't.
Gosh.
Bran, how dare you?
I don't recommend it.
Well, that's
Dan,
right.
are you
Jen
going to
can still override my
override
veto.
Tracy's
Sorry.
veto?
It was
Override.
no, I'm not overriding it.
You're not overriding. All right.
It was 14 on my list.
14 on my list. Yeah.
Like
Oh my gosh.
even Roadhouse Romance was above it.
Yeah, me
Bran
too.
is just causing chaos. I do have Bran's next.
I don't
pick.
trust him now.
I know.
You
So
have to earn back that trust, Bran.
this is from 2021. Aaron Krakow is in it. Krakow. It was always
Krakow.
you. Elizabeth's engagement plans are thrown into disarray when her fiance's brother returns home. His unexpected influence prompts Elizabeth to question her life decisions. Giles Payton plays the brother. I love him. He's so great. Nelson Wong is in this. He's just so awesome too. He plays Eugene, the mail carrier. And we'll be doing a Nelson Wong draft at some point. Just because, it's Nelson Wong. Why not? So, Bran, why did you half-heartedly play It Was Always You for number 2?
Well, if I have to,
If you
I
have
guess
to.
I will. But I understand why this is a lot of Heine's number 1 movies, because I think it is the hottest Tyler Hynes movie. I think the chemistry between Tyler and Aaron is far and away the spiciest of the chemistries. But yeah, I it's not my favorite one. I think 2 is good. I had it at 3. But I'm going to be able to sleep fine with this at 2. I think it's a great movie, and the 2 of them are so good together. And I am firmly in the I would like to see these 2 in another movie together camp. And I'm not that way about most things. I'm once I've seen you, I want to see you do this thing with other people. But this, I'd watch them do as many movies as they want to do together.
Well, except for the Veil series, you've been advocating for that to have like Veils
Oh, yeah.
7, 8, and 9, I think.
Well, yes, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
If
At
that
this point, it's
happened-
tradition. I love tradition.
Tradition. Great. Okay. So It Was Always You is Brad's choice for number 2. Tracy, what do you think?
It was
Tracy,
my
you're down to 1 veto, by the way.
I know. That's okay. I'm not going to veto this one. It was my number 3. But I agree with Bran. It's a good, I mean, I still have a problem with the whole, he's going after his brother's fiance. I still have a problem with that. I think the way they ended it was okay-ish, and that they didn't end up together until like a year later, after having separated. She separated, and what's his name? George went off with the dental hygienist, whatever. So I do like this movie. You're right. Chemistry is off the charts. And they were so much fun to watch together. Even this movie having almost a sequel, I could even go with that one with like the same characters and having them travel, or even 2 new characters. Either way, I did really like this one. So number 2, okay with me.
Okay. Jen, you still have a veto and a veto override. Do you want to veto this at number 2, or do you want to keep It Was Always You?
No, I don't need to. I don't need to veto this.
Sure.
I don't need to put Roadhouse at number 2 or Mistletoe Secret at number 2. Unless I want to be cruel and make Tracy use another veto, which I am not Bran.
Hey, come on.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
All right. So
Yeah, sorry. So
It's good.
yeah, I like this one. I think
You like
it's
this one?
again, I have similar issues like Tracy said with you're going after your brother's girlfriend. I have not watched it nearly as many times as Rena has. I think nobody has watched it as many times as her. But I do think it's good. I like their chemistry. I like the end when they're like sitting on the couch watching, like eating popcorn, watching the Bachelorette type of show. Like, I just think like even their postings while they were like filming it, or like when the movie was coming out, you could tell they got to be like friends. And I think that kind of played off of it. And like there's an Andrew Walker cameo, like, right? No, is that one? No, which one is it?
Andrew
No, it's
Walker
another one.
is in a different movie.
It's the other one. So yeah, no, I like it. It's good.
all right. So
Good
that's
with it.
going to stay at number 2. So just a quick recap before we get to Tracy picking her number 1. We
What else?
have at number 10, Flip That Romance. 9 is Sweet Carolina. 8 is Falling for You. 7 is It's Christmas Eve. 6 is Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. 5 is On the 12th Date of Christmas. 4 is Winter in Vale. 3 is Three Wise Men and a Baby. 2 is It Was Always You. And
Okay.
Tracy.
I will also say the one thing that did bother me about It Was Always You. What happened to the dog? Billy just disappeared.
Yep.
Never seen her again or him again. That always bothered me about that movie. It's the worst part of that movie.
So
Okay.
Tracy has sent over a movie from 2021, co-starring Bethany Joy Lenz. It's An Unexpected Christmas. Emily works at an ad agency and is sent to her ex's hometown before Christmas. She arrives at the train station as her ex is picked up by his family. They mistakenly think Emily's still an item with him. Hilarity ensues. Tracy?
I think this is there's a lot of people's favorite movie. At least I know in our Deck the Hallmark group was a lot of people's favorite movie. I remember when we all watched it during the chat, we all just went, I don't know how, if Dan doesn't like this. I remember we all said, if Dan doesn't like this movie, we may all just jump ship because there's no way he could not like this movie. And it was just so good, like with Bethany Joy Lenz, with Joy, and with Tyler. And Tyler doesn't have the smolder on this one. He's baby face, no beard. He's kind of like this insecure, plays this insecure character. But he and Joy work so well together, and I love his family in this. They're hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
They're just really funny. The sparkle unicorn, come on, and then there's the sister in her she shed, and then the conversations that he gets to have with his sister are just, they're so good. This is the one that has the Andrew Walker cameo in it.
That's what it was.
And and then the scenes with the waiter, like I
So
think
funny.
I did like it. There was a line in it where he's like, it always makes my day when you get a snort laugh. And I think I literally snort laugh every time I watch that one scene when they're trying to like, oh no, he knows, and they hide under the table, and it's so funny. So and then the scene around the fountain where she runs around the fountain and she jumps down and then they do a little twirl dance, and I'm just like, I just love this movie. It's just so well done. It is one of the best, if not the best, Hallmark movie.
You actually just mentioned that's one of my favorite scenes too, is the fountain scene. But my very favorite scene is when she slaps the cookie out of his hand. It's just perfect comedic timing. It's really great. So Bran, you do not have a veto, but what are your thoughts on An Unexpected Christmas at number 1?
Yeah, it was my number 1 as well. I love this movie. It's so good. And I know this is a Tyler Hynes list, but Joy is just phenomenal. And I think she shines in this movie and helps everybody else shine as well. The fact I don't know what I'm going to do with myself with this Joy Palaha movie. I don't, guys. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. It's gonna be tough to wait. It's just I don't know, guys. I don't know, but I do know this. Love this movie, and Tyler, of course, is great in it. Very funny. This was the one of the ones I remember being like surprised. Like I know Tyler is funny, like as a person, but I felt like it hasn't like shown through a ton in his other work, and I felt like this was one where we got to see him be funny a good bit and show his comedic timing. And so obviously after Three Wise Men, we know far like he's fantastic, but I think this is one where we first be like, yeah, this guy can do that. That's fun. So yeah, number 1 all the way.
Awesome. Guys, you did it.
Wait, I don't get to speak? What
Oh,
if
you
I
get to
veto
speak.
it?
I'm sorry, Jen. Yeah, sorry.
If you veto this, and
Veto
you
it.
get Roadhouse
You veto
Romance.
this.
If you veto this, Roadhouse Romance or Mistletoe Secret goes at number 1.
I secretly want Mistletoe Secret. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just was gonna say that I think too, like when he's not writing about lighthouses, that Paul Campbell obviously writes really well because 2 of his movies were in our like top 3. And I think like he needs to write more of those comedic like type of movies for Hallmark, because I think he does like really well, and that's his wheelhouse. And let's just leave anybody's lighthouses like out of the mix, and we'll be good to go. But no, this I love this one. And the sister needs her own movie. Can we just say that? Like, how do we make the sister have her own movie? Because that, like, she shed, like, or whatever, like, scenes, they're my favorite. Like, she's great. I don't even know who she is. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, but we need more of her.
Jackie Award winner for that conversation.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
So, you guys, first of all, good job. Really good job. Lots of surprises. Lots of surprises here.
Fun.
What didn't make the list that you had on your list? I'll do it in the veto order. Bran, what was on your list that didn't make it onto the final list?
Well, my appointment's back, but also the mistletoe secret didn't make it on the list. I had it at 7.
You had it at 7. Yeah. What about you, Tracy?
Yeah, the only one I don't have on is Mistletoe Secret, and I had that at 7. Yeah.
Wow, you and Bran are like 2 peas in a
Yeah,
pod.
but still.
What about you, Jen?
So I had technically on the list I have printed out, Mistletoe Secret is number 11.
Okay.
So
Oh.
all of mine are on the list.
Okay.
But
So-
I did move it up, like when I obviously drafted, because I was going back and forth about it. But I technically have all of mine on there.
Awesome. That's great.
Oh,
So
that's
before
cool.
we do a final recap of the top 10, Erinbeth, you and I need to kind of confess what's on our lists and how many match. So why don't you do a quick read of what your top 10 are?
Okay. I now I fully understand we only had 14 movies, so I can't take like great joy in it, but I matched 9 of 10, which is the most I've ever matched on a list. So I'm excited about that. However, let's remember what Lynn said. We don't pick shame. So as you hear my rankings, we're not pick shaming. Number 10 is On the 12th Date of Christmas. Number 9, Always Amore. I don't want to hear it. I watched it for a second time and I really did enjoy it on the second watch. I encourage the second watch. 8 was Winter and Gale. I'm sorry, what?
I've watched it twice.
You still didn't like
That's 3 times.
I found Tyler very endearing on the second watch.
It's number 12 on mine.
Number 8 was Winter and Vale. 7 is Falling for You. 6 is Flip That Romance. 5 is 3 Wise Men and a Baby. 4, An Unexpected Christmas. 3, Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. Also one that I watched the second time. I hated it the first time. When I watched it the second time, I was bawling at the end.
Oh my gosh.
I did, I did also watch it directly after rewatching Royal Corgi Christmas. I'm not
No way.
Why
saying
did you rewatch
Wait.
that?
an upcoming draft.
We have a draft coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
the
draft
royal- the royal
Yeah.
Oh
draft.
dear God.
Yeah.
My number 2, it was Always You. I have the same problem with the whole she's engaged and all of that. But I feel it's the best they've ever handled it with the whole waiting a year and they do the whole thing. And so, and then my number 1 was Sweet Carolina. I really liked that movie. I mean, it caught me off guard because I didn't know that her sister died. And so that usually does not happen. It threw me so off from the Hallmark movie that you normally see that I was working on something and it happened and I looked at the TV and I just gushing tears over. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she did so well in that. And I know it wasn't a Lacey.
And
You guys
that
gave
was
It's
that
not a
was
Lacey
my-
draft.
that was my issue too. Like I technically
Yes,
have it at my
you're right.
number 2. Like when I went with
Right.
my gut, it's my number 2. But it's not a Lacey draft. And she does
But
so
he
well in it.
was
So
in
I
a
get it.
suit. He came around the corner and it was like,
Okay, so here's my 10 ranked. I don't want to hear it. We do not pick shame here. Number 10.
That's not how I felt.
You picked a wedding march, Bran. No.
I would just like to remind everyone to choose love. Choose
Thank
love.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank
Thank you.
Choose love and scavenger hunts always.
Wow.
Time for him to come home for Christmas was number 10. Flip That Romance was 9. 8 was On the 12th Date of Christmas. 7 was Three Wise Men and a Baby. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I know Tracy's already raising her eyebrows. 6 is Always Amore. Now listen, just listen. Tyler is totally ripped in this movie. You have to see him. I
That's
don't
why
want to
I
objectify the
that.
guy, but it's totally ripped in this movie. So, you
And
know,
the
yeah,
fountain scene, Lynn, the fountain scene.
the fountain
Yeah.
scene, exactly. 5 is Sweet Carolina. 4 is Winter in Vale, which is actually 4 on your list. Yay. 3, The Mistletoe Secret. I say that unapologetically. No? Anyone? Just me? Fine. 2 is An Unexpected Christmas, and 1 is It Was Always You. So those were my top 10. I got 8. If you got 9, Erinbeth, then
I
then
appreciate the
me.
veto of Mistletoe Christmas because I was, as soon as it got vetoed, I'm like, I knew I was going to win because we only had one different movie and it was Mistletoe Christmas and Falling for You. And it was like,
I assumed that Always Amore was higher up on your list after your message to me the other day about it. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't respond, but I was like,
I know.
I watched it twice and I just don't want to watch it again. It needs to be deleted.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but you know what? It's the
Thank
food,
you,
it's
the
the
second one.
grandmother, it's a whole bunch of things. So
And I like autumn. I just,
yeah. So
Fine.
one more time for the final time. Here's the ultimate list of the 10 best Tyler Hynes Hallmark movies as drafted by Tracy, Jen, and Bran. Number 10 is Flip That Romance. Number 9 is Sweet Carolina. Number 8 is Falling for You. 7 is It's Christmas Eve. 6 is Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. 5 is On the 12th Date of Christmas. 4 is Winter in Vale. 3 is Three Wise Men and a Baby. 2 is It Was Always You. And the number 1 choice is An Unexpected Christmas. Great job, everybody. Thank
Good
you
list.
so much for doing all of this. Did you have fun?
It
yeah,
was a lot of fun.
Like
Great
it?
time.
Did
Great
you have a good
time.
time? Would you come back, Jen?
yeah.
Would you come back, Bran?
Yeah, listen, I felt like I accomplished everything I set out to do today.
Bran has nothing left to come back, though. Let's just remember that.
But that's the way that he likes it. He wants an even.
But he wanted
flat-
control. He wanted
playing
forward
field.
thinking.
Yeah.
I still have a veto and an override.
Yeah, Jen, you still have a veto and a veto override. Tracy, you still have a veto. I think Bran should get some sort of reward for self-vetoing himself.
Thank
that
you.
was just
Thank you.
so fabulous. So next month in April, we're having the Battle Royale. So that's with Dan, Elizabeth, excuse me, Dan, Elizabeth, and Jillian, Dan's arch nemesis in drafting, Lady Panda.
And I just
So-
want to really quickly give a shout out to my big friend Dan, who has been watching nonstop royal movies for weeks now. For weeks. I just walk in there.
volunteered.
He
Oh,
at least has
nonstop.
the list.
He volunteered for this one. He
Nonstop.
volunteered.
Has the list.
I think he volunteered before he realized how many he hadn't seen.
He did.
There is a Bethany Joy Lens one.
And there's a joy.
Yeah.
There's a joy one. That's a good one.
Yeah, he just watched that one. I won't tell you what
There's
his hot
also
take
a
is.
Royal Corgi Christmas.
No.
Well, of course.
So without
Even I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure I could make myself watch that again if I were doing that draft. And I rewatched the Wedding March 5.
I'm going to tell you the secret. I cleaned while I rewatched it. So
I don't clean when I don't watch movies.
I was just playing it in the background.
So, Bran, you probably already know this about your big friend Dan, but at one point in the chat, Dan said, "Can we all just agree that there are probably there are 4 or 5 movies that will never make this list, so I don't have to watch them?" And I won't share the actual responses, but no, he did it did not go over well, and he had to watch everything. There was no
Well,
sympathy shown.
Because
I
he
think
didn't
before
watch all of the ones, the Andrew ones.
No,
He did not, because I heard him say that when I listened, and I was like, "Son of a,"
Well, but I think the different, like similar to Hynes, I think we have a good idea though of the ones that like
Yeah.
are going to be on the list. Some of
Yeah.
these royal movies, like they've been making them for a lot longer, so
Yeah.
there's like a hard to get a consensus. So yeah, he has to
Watch it. Yes, or
and that
Elizabeth
brings me
will have
great
his
joy.
head.
Brings
It's
me
going to be a
great
fun
joy.
one. It's going to be a fun one. So for anybody who's got their boot shot glasses, why don't we do a boot shot? I am boot shotting some NyQuil for severe cold and flu. Thank you very much.
mine's water, but can we pretend it's vodka?
You can pretend it. So here's to Tyler Hynes. Here's to you guys for putting together a really great list. Cheers.
Hold on, Brand's not ready.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
hold on. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3, go. All right. Thanks. Hallmark Movie Drafts is produced by me, Lynn Austin, with additional creative and research support from Erinbeth Cermak and Catherine Baca. This show would not be possible without the dedicated and talented Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much. Intro and outro music is courtesy of Amada Zapana. If you love this pod, please leave a 5-star review. It helps other Hallmark movie fans to find us and join in on the shenanigans. Be sure to follow the show at Hallmark Movie Drafts on Instagram.